So I have something to tell. Anybody who's been in chat should have some inkling about what's going on. Um, the the personal news that I need to share, that I want to share with you guys, is a couple weeks ago. Well, what is it now? Is 2 weeks ago today. I stayed home sick. I had what eventually turned out to be strep throat. I was off work Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, I was okay and went to work, felt fine. On Thursday morning, I woke up with a real hard pain on the left side of my back. It was 3 a.m. I went to the bathroom. I was peeing red wine. It was dark, and even though the lights were off, I could tell it was dark. So I woke up after going back to sleep. I woke up Thursday morning to get ready for work. And again, the pain was there. I took a couple pain pills, for the back, but I was still peeing red. So I took my wife to work, and then instead of going into work right away, I went to the urgent care downtown, and they told me that it was likely that I had kidney stones. I was not very excited about kidney stones because kidney stones are, from everything I've heard, extremely painful. They gave me this Flomax stuff to, widen the duct to make sure that everything was going through. They gave me a little strainer so that I could, strain my piss and catch the stones. And for a couple days, I was not catching anything. So I went in, I called on Monday last week. So a week ago today, I went into work, and I'll talk about this. I had a pain in my left ball. It felt like somebody was tugging on it, and not in a fun way. So I was uncomfortable, but I was going to live with it. I was just going to take, a pill and be done with it. But I was sitting at work, and within 20 minutes, it just got worse and worse and worse, to the point where I couldn't even sit anymore. I was like, this is just awful. This hurts. And so I called the urgent care guy, the doctor that had prescribed me stuff, and he's like, you should just go into the emergency room, because it could be torsion, where your ball twists a bunch, so the tissue connecting your ball to your urethra gets twisted up, and you could lose a testicle that way. And so I didn't want to lose a testicle. I like having 2 of them. I don't want to have anything in common with Hitler. And so I went into the ER, and the quick examination was good. You do not have torsion, but you do have pain. You have pain that's been in your back on the side, and you have pain in your testicle. So we should probably check that out. By the way, the Saturday night game against Green Bay, I was by the end of the game, I couldn't even stand. I was in so much pain. So they did a CT scan. They couldn't quite make out what was in there. They did an ultrasound on my balls, which is fun because it was like a warm jelly, and I was being examined by the most attractive tech in the world. I was like, stop, just thinking of dead puppies and stuff. But then I ended up, they wanted to do another CT scan. And the other CT scan, they put in contrast dye. So they put the iodine or whatever in my IV so that you could see what was actually going on. And I didn't have to wait for the doctor the next day, because I was with my mom after leaving the hospital, and my mom's a nurse practitioner. And so we were reading my chart after the stuff came through, and we were sure. And then going to the urologist on Tuesday last week confirmed it. I have renal cancer. I have cancer on my kidney, my left kidney. It's a slow growing cancer from what I'm told. A lot of, it's a high survivability cancer, so that's good. The problem is that, and also the abdominal CT scan show that it did not spread to my nodes. It did not spread to my it didn't spread to my pancreas. The downside to this, though, is that cancer to begin with just sucks. But it's huge. It's like the size of a softball. Essentially, the cancer has tripled the size of my left kidney, and my left kidney is not functioning at all. My right kidney apparently has fantastic function, so as long as that one is okay, and the kidney here is the only problem, that's fine, and it should be good. I have a CT scan tomorrow after work, again with the contrast dye, again, but this one is to look at my chest. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't worried about this one, because while I did not see, it didn't show that it had spread to the nodes, didn't show that it spread to the pancreas or anywhere else in the abdomen. It is on top of the kidney, and directly above the kidney is the chest. And that's where they're going to do a CT scan on tomorrow. And I'd be lying if I said I was fine. I'm a little worried, mainly because, yes, it's a slow growing cancer, but it's so big that it's been growing there for years, or it might have been growing there for years. So I'm worried that it's went up into other spots. I'm a very big guy, but I've always had, I've never been slow because of my size. And by slow, I mean, like, I've never been slowed down because of it. If I'm, when I go hiking, I'll run circles around people. I can play sports. I can, I played basketball frequently north of 400 pounds, not something that has stopped me in the past. But I've had sometimes my heart's felt a little rough lately. Sometimes I've had shortness of breath. And there's a concern there. So tomorrow night I've got a CT scan. A week after that, I have a new primary care doctor I'm going to, and she's going to do like a pre-op examination with me. And Wednesday next week, I've got a MRI at West Allis. And then the surgery itself is on February 7th. I had been talking to Stack here, who's in chat. I'd been talking to Stack. We were both considering going to the Cleveland State game on Saturday, March 8th. I really hope he gets to be able to go to that because I can't. I've never been to the Wolstein Center. I wanted to go, especially with Cleveland State doing so well in the conference. And I wanted to be able to. I like taking over a road gym with my voice. It's fun. So, this program has always provided me with a great distraction from life. When my brother died a couple years ago, it was a good distraction. When I'm in the hospital with him, I could focus on, reading a book about basketball or watching the conference tournaments or the NCAA tournament. When my wife had the miscarriage, my free time when I wasn't with her, I would dive into this stuff with you guys. So I'm just really thankful that you guys are around. I'm not John, I am not making it to Cleveland. March 8th is a day after my surgery. I'm going to be in the hospital. Best case scenario, I'm going to be resting at home. There's also a book that I'm going to show you guys that I read when my brother. I'm actually in the process of rereading it, and I would like to recommend it right now. This book is fantastic. It's called Cinderella Strategy. Look at the green screen thing. You can see through the green on the ball. So the Cinderella Strategy is a book by Graham Honecker and Jerry Logan. One of them works at Butler. One of them is just has some distant connection. Anyways, the book is about how Butler set itself up and built itself to get to the point where they could get to the Final Four, and then how they capitalized on it as an entire university to move themselves up and get themselves in position for the Big East and to succeed when they got there. I highly recommend this book. There is a lot of good stuff in this book. Call your local library and tell them to get it. I'm in my second read through of it, and I'm thinking about it because it was what I read in the hospital when my brother was dying. I do not intend on dying from this. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared at all. But I do know that a lot of times in life it's about, kind of faking it till you make it and kind of acting like acting like you're okay. Oh, don't make a hashtag out of that. Don't make a hashtag out of that. I don't want to be a hashtag. I want to be loud and in the crowd. It's cold as hell, but the doctor says I have to walk a mile a day. And most of the time I'm getting that done at work, but I didn't get any of that really done today because it was so damn cold outside. So I'm gonna try and take the dog for a walk later. After I got about like half an hour left before I got to cut this short. So I do want to I do want to take the dog for a walk. Maybe I can get that mile in. I love you guys. I love all of you. I did tell some of you. I know that you guys can tell from the chat. But I have, most of my family knew. I started with my mom reading my chart and told me and my dad. Then we, I told my wife when I picked her up from work. I told a couple close friends. Went to the doctor the next day. Told the rest of them. I'm sorry, I'm just reading chat. I really appreciate you all. What I was gonna say is I don't intend on losing this. If the worst case scenario happens and tomorrow's CT scan shows that I'm fucked, I will give it the best I shot. And if I end up losing, I'll make a plea for everybody in UWM Nation to finally support the motherfucking program. That's my dying wish. So, I don't want to make this all sad. All right. All right.